the topic.
No. Just coming on the hot on the title.
Do I say title?
No.
Sinema Sidelined. The issue is primary elections. And my question is, do you think Arizona House Representative Ruben Gallego will challenge Senator Kyrsten Sinema in the 2024 election?
Welcome to Political Playlist.
All right. Are we ready, guys?
Happy Hour.
Happy hour. We fucked that up so bad.
God.
Welcome to Political Playlist Happy Hour. I'm Michael Kristoff.
I'm Anna Muskie-Goldwyn.
I'm Anthony Barquette.
What are you guys drinking? I got a Manhattan here, and I kind of went fancy on this one.
Ooh.
Did the whole garnish.
I have a margarita made with oranges from the tree in my yard.
Wow.
Man, Hannah, you always have such a great creative drink. I just have a scotch. I was kind of in a rush.
It's a simple man.
So.
You're really
Simple
the Martha
man.
Stewart of this trio. You're
Oh,
like,
thank you, Michael.
I was pedaling around my garden today.
Oh, me?
Oh, you're talking about
sorry.
Anna. I thought I was me.
Oh, was that not
I
clear? Yeah. No,
would
I meant
be a
Anthony.
compliment.
I meant Anthony. Yeah. I want to get to this issue and this question that you raised, Anthony. Tell us about it. What are we talking about here?
Yeah, so the question here again is, will Ruben Gallego challenge Senator Kyrsten Sinema in the 2024 election?
Who everyone just loves these days.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the reason I'm bringing this up is, one, people are really starting to talk about the 2022 elections, but also Kyrsten Sinema has been dragged through the press. She's pissing off a lot of people right now.
She's a little kooky.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's a little kooky Kristen.
And so
Kyrsten.
just to sort of give some context here, we are talking about a potential primary challenger to Kyrsten Sinema for the 2024 Senate.
Correct.
And it's because progressive Democrats, I mean, not even progressive Democrats, most Democrats, except maybe the most moderate, are pretty peeved with her dealing with the Build Back Better Act, among other things, but specifically that.
Yeah, I mean, Anna, you sort of hit the nail on the head. That's one of them. She also voted against raising minimum wage in the COVID relief bill. She's opposed to the filibuster, Voting Rights Act. She
was opposed to the Voting Rights Act?
She didn't really participate as much as she should have.
She wasn't like a deal maker in it.
Yeah. She's become this massive pivotal role in this Senate that's divided, right? But now, because of that, a lot of people are going against her. As we always like to do, enter Ruben Gallego.
Yes.
Set the scene.
So-
He's stirring up some shit. I kind of like it.
So he's a former Marine deployed in Iraq, one of the battalions, which was actually the one that experienced some of the most casualties in combat.
Wow.
He actually wrote a book. They called us Lucky, the life and the afterlife of the Iraq War's hardest hit unit. He's the son of Colombian and Mexican immigrants. He went to Harvard, but he's not that type of Harvard person. He's a little...
I didn't even know he went to Harvard.
He's a very authentic, down-to-earth politician.
Mhm.
So
He's also the
his
chair of the House, the Hispanic caucus, correct?
I was just getting to that.
Ah.
Yeah.
Wow.
love
Feed
it.
him to it. Anna's
Um,
so the thing you got to know about Anna, Anthony, is that she's on a pace, okay, and you just got to keep up.
Yeah,
gotta keep up
the
with
pauses
her.
between your words are too long. You need to.
Yeah.
I always feel like I'm two steps behind Anna.
It's because you're not grabbing drink ingredients from your garden. Anyway, hibiscus notwithstanding, I have a question for you about Ruben. So he's obviously a congressman, and he was elected in 2018 to the Arizona.
No,
Or
he was actually.
2016.
Oh, go back one more cycle.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
So
So almost a decade. He's
Obama
been in-
era Democrat.
so he's sort of a cagey vet here.
He has some of the lowest voting turnout
Whoa.
in the state. So while he's won, single-handedly his elections, they've actually been pretty low turnouts for the people who are in Arizona and also who are registered as Democrat.
I feel like the issue with primaries is that you get the excited base of the party, right? But then you don't necessarily. So then the person who is the most Democratic or the most Republican or the most far right or far left or whatever you want to call it tends to be able to win. because a lot of the moderate voters are sitting out the primary. So then you get to the general election, and the people who, especially in a state like Arizona, turn the election are the moderate voters.
Are the moderates. True.
So I
Great
get,
point.
like, when you say that about Ruben, it's like, well, if he hasn't drummed up enough excitement in his own district, maybe he can drum up the excitement amongst more far left Democrats in Arizona, which would win him the nomination. But in a very, very swing state like Arizona, where the Senate could be on the line, right? Whoever controls the Senate, does that potential history of lack of excitement work against him if he's trying to run against a Republican, whether it's a far Republican or a more moderate Republican?
Honestly.
And Anthony, there was a question in there. I can confirm.
That was the question. It was the end.
Yeah. 12 hours later.
Yeah, I'm awake. I'm here.
That's the tough thing here, right? Is a lot of people who are in the House, it's hard for them to transition to that Senate campaign mode, right?
Well, we saw it with Joe Kennedy III fail in his bid against Ed Markey.
I guess my thought is that if I was a Democrat out there who was looking at the bigger picture, at least from like a control standpoint, but perhaps not from a policy standpoint, of saying, is there going to be one vote in the Senate that determines everything? Is Ruben the person who can win that race? And to a lot of people, I think it doesn't matter, because they want Kyrsten Sinema out and they want someone with their values potentially in. But I think that's the question I would be asking myself if I was an Arizona Democrat.
Kyrsten Sinema ran a very moderate campaign and has been even more of a moderate / sometimes, shading right kind of a Democratic senator. So has Ruben indicated what kind of a platform he would be running on?
Well, I just want to be clear.
Yeah.
He has not said that he is running yet.
Oh,
we're just playing into the speculation.
There is a PAC that's starting up called Run, Ruben, Run.
Oh my God. Wait, that should have been the title of the episode, Anthony.
Sorry, friends.
Go back.
Anthony's a little slow, but since his name has sort of been on this short list, I would say he started to throw some comments to Kyrsten, which I think, I just want to read you a couple of these. The only consistency about Senator Sinema's roles and positions is inconsistency.
Ooh, wow.
Snap.
Shots fired.
Yep.
Well, it'd be interesting to see, because obviously he has to run for re-election in 2022 as a congressman. And it'll be interesting to see, based on your statistic of not generating a high voter turnout, if he can move that number up, which can then be a good indication for running in a sort of larger statewide election.
And two, you got to think about it. It's still 2 years away, which is a long time in politics. They say there would be a lot of other people who would probably be running on the Democratic side for this nomination. So it does lead for a Republican to really come in here and potentially swoop it. I will say, though, I am a big fan of Ruben. He's always been on my top 5 Democrats. Yeah. And he just comes off as extremely authentic, which I do think is missing in our political world today. So I'm hoping that can channel through. I think he would make a great senator. I think he would make actually a really long-term senator.
I also think there's never a bad thing about having more veterans in leadership positions.
Absolutely.
Well, to that point, I feel like we are constantly, when we're looking at, okay, who is doing weekly bills and what are those weekly bills? I feel like he's one of the people who puts forth veteran bill after veteran bill to try and, forward veteran causes, to try and reform and improve the VA. Just you name it. He seems like he's so well steeped in veteran policy. And it's one of those things that I think is great to see. Yeah.
So I'm going to put you two on the spot.
Oh, okay. In a fight, who would win?
Yeah,
honestly,
we'll put Anna first.
Kyrsten, what's the question?
Kyrsten does triathlons. So
who would you rather have in there? Because there are 2 people on the political playlist platform.
Who would I rather have in the Senate?
Yeah,
I have 2 answers. Is that okay?
Oh, you can't pick both.
I mean, well, I think that I would rather have Ruben in the Senate, because I feel like the amount of drama that has come around Kyrsten Sinema hasn't necessarily made me dislike her, but it's made me dislike the institution a lot. That I feel like to have one person be able to sort of stir up an entire party is very upsetting to me. So from that perspective, I would rather have Ruben.
I would say objectively, I think one of the challenges that Kyrsten Sinema, hey, this Manhattan is delicious. Wow. Some of the bills she's put forth, like we've mentioned in the past and in various iterations of our newsletter, she's been big into trying to help spur semiconductor and chip manufacturing in the state. She's been a big proponent of that. She's helped the state with various COVID funding, infrastructure policy, yet she doesn't seem to necessarily be known for that. And so I think she has a challenge ahead of her to sort of begin to tout the things that she's done successfully. And I would say that, to your direct question, Anthony, I would favor either candidate who can prove that they're going to be more of a glass half full than a glass half empty. And if that is Ruben, then, I think I would be in favor of him over Kyrsten Sinema.
I'm going to leave you with one more thought, though, because who's also came out publicly, who's a big fan of Ruben's, I feel like Michael's going to love this, is James Carville.
I mean, I like this guy, Ruben Gallego. I mean, I don't know much about him, but
and for the 10 people under the age of 30 who know who James Carville is, that will be funny.
He was in Old School, the movie Old School.
I have no rebuttal.
James Carville.